Hi, I'm Steve Kilburn. I am the Grant Projects Director at the Chautauqua County Department of Mental Hygiene. And as a part of my work, I oversee the Chautauqua Substance Abuse Response Partnership, a partnership of agencies from across Chautauqua County, agencies in the fields of prevention, treatment, recovery, and harm reduction, all coming together to work in a coordinated fashion to address addiction here in our county. We have been putting together this series of videos that we've called Let's Heal Together, Conversations to Combat Addiction, to have conversations with our partners and others about the services that are available right here in Chautauqua County. I'm very excited today to have a conversation with Lynn Graziano and Tamie Gates. Tamie and Lynn and others work within the criminal justice system here in Chautauqua County. And as we'll hear, they provide services to inmates, substance abuse and mental health services to people during a time of incarceration to help them get the treatment, the support, the skills that they need in order to be ready for time after incarceration. Well, let's turn now to our conversation. Well, Tamie and Lynn, thank you guys so much for being willing to be a part of this video. I'm going to let each of you introduce yourselves and your title in the Department of Mental Hygiene.
So I'm Tamie Gates. I am a therapist in the Chautauqua County Jail.
I'm Lynn Graziano-Shaffer. I've been with the county for 14 years. I'm the clinical coordinator. I oversee the mental health services in the jail, do the AOT program, also am involved with the cognitive enhancement therapy and the mobile transition team.
Well, great. Again, thank you guys so much for being a part of this today. So both of you, of course, involved with treatment services that are made available to inmates in the Chautauqua County Jail. Tamie, tell us about that. What does that entail?
So we have a wide array of services that we offer in the jail. I offer counseling. We also do group therapy. We do psychiatric services. We do care coordination and drug and alcohol treatment.
Lynn, when you think about those services that the County Department of Mental Hygiene is providing to inmates, what kind of motivates you and inspires you to want to make those available to people that are incarcerated?
Well, it's a good opportunity while they're in there to receive some of these services and complete some programs. We do Thinking for a Change that Tamie and Michelle both are involved in. Alexis does a lot of relapse prevention programs. So while they're in there and they have time, they can actually spend that time utilizing different programs and services. So they're more, equipped with better tools when they're being released, so they can hopefully get, reacquainted in the community with some skills under their belt to help them be successful.
I wonder if I could ask, do these services help and make a difference in their lives?
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt.
Yeah. Can you say more about that? Like, what are some of the things that you have seen because somebody has gotten these services while they were incarcerated?
Well, typically when we have someone that comes in the jail, within the first day or so, they're not exactly receptive. They might not be, engaged at that point. But as they go through the process here and they meet us and they see that we can be helpful, they absolutely want to engage with us. They want the help. We see them, they'll reach out to us after they leave, and we just kind of are that missing piece sometimes for people, that don't typically maybe pursue services. So we make it on the front line, not, like we can do this, we can link you, we can, the county has so much to offer.
Yes.
That we can help with.
Yes. I had previously worked as an inpatient drug and alcohol counselor, and I can still remember one of my patients describing his own previous arrest and saying that he wasn't so much arrested, he was rescued. Looking back, he could see that intervention in his kind of out of control life had literally saved his life. And that's where you guys, are working. Lynn, have you seen these interventions make a difference?
Absolutely. I mean, if we didn't see people become successful and make, positive changes in their lives, we wouldn't be able to continue to do this. And we know that, sometimes it may take 4, 5, 6 times at a rehab to get back on track, but we'll send them 5, 6, 7 times so we can get them where they need to be. And a lot of times, I think, to speak of what you're saying, that sometimes the worst thing that happens to you can turn out to be the best thing. And we've seen that a lot, since we've been providing mental health services in the jail, that some people coming in might really be struggling. And it's there when we can finally kind of get the time and have the ability to explain to them the services that are available to them. And one of my favorite things that's happened since we've been there is the girls got a Christmas card from an inmate one year, and he wrote in the card that you girls are the hope within these 4 walls. And it was like really incredible and amazing, because I know they all do incredible work there. And, I just know that, we don't give up until we can get people where they really need to be.
And I can't say enough about our team in particular. Lynn and I are so passionate about mental health and the mentally ill that we really kind of are the opposite of, ever losing hope. I guess we're like, the frontline people that just want to always, be helpful. And yeah,
Yeah. No, it's wonderful. I mean, it's humane and it's the right thing to do. It's also worth noting that it does, in the long run, and this isn't necessarily the main driver, because I think compassion is the main driver, but it saves money when people get help and get treatment and are able to avoid the patterns that, produce ongoing problems with all the consequences that they bring. You mentioned a program that actually I've heard of, the Thinking for a Change.
Yes.
Can you describe kind of what that's about and the principles that that's built on?
Sure. I mean, it really focused on teaching individuals how to think differently compared to maybe negative thoughts, distorted thinkings, irrational thoughts they're having, and kind of allows them to develop some skills so they can reframe those thoughts and feelings about how they feel about themselves and the community, and ways they can be more successful.
Yeah, and this is an evidence-based treatment curriculum for people in the criminal justice system, isn't it? It's been demonstrated to have good results.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's fascinating to watch because it actually teaches them to slow down, process your emotions, and think before you have a reaction. And it goes through steps where you're actually listing possible scenarios. So they really expand their critical thinking as well.
Yeah, that must be rewarding to see those changes happening. I think also of the family members that for whom, again, in the midst of the fear that accompanies ongoing addiction, really might see an incarceration as a kind of blessing almost in many cases, because it does, provide some restraint, I guess, let's say, to the dangerous patterns of behavior. So what I'm getting at is, what would you want family members to know about what their loved ones are receiving in the jail system by way of support and treatment?
Well, so anytime someone comes in, they can request to see any of us as much as they need. So they're definitely getting the support. We sit down with them, see, do an assessment, see what fits them best, what they want to do, because, it's about where they're at in their treatment, because some might be far and they've been working with someone, some may just be starting out. So we do that assessment, but I want family members to understand that, like Lynn said, if they come in 6 times, we're going to help them 6 times.
Right.
And they're like, no one's ever going to be judged or treated differently because they're struggling with any sort of addiction. we're always going to be here to help and listen and meet them where they're at. And that's key in treatment.
Yes. So have you seen people who, kind of maybe resistant initially, wouldn't have chosen this apart from some legal requirement like incarceration, actually do respond to the treatment?
Oh, without a doubt. And sometimes, depending on the diagnosis, the insight is limited. So when you put them somewhere like here, and they can really sit down and gain some insight into what's going on with them, it gives them the opportunity to examine and let us help, in the best way we can.
And I think the treatment courts have been incredibly successful with allowing people to be released and not, spending time being incarcerated and actually doing, active treatment and finding success that way, where maybe they may not have been able to do that had treatment courts not been available.
I used to think and say that it didn't so much matter the attitude that a person came in with. What mattered was the attitude they left with. And
right.
Like you, in that setting, I saw many times that was a dramatic difference between coming in and then leaving treatment. So.
Well, and the new opiate court is fantastic as well. We're just getting people, through the court system faster into treatment. It's really working well.
Yeah, I know one of the deep concerns that has been recognized in the midst of the opioid crisis is the risk at which released inmates are for overdose. And I wonder if that's a particular topic or focus that you try to address with the inmates before they're released?
Absolutely. And the drug and alcohol counselor here will advocate with the court if we really are worried about someone, and we'll try to make that link to treatment versus just letting them out per se. We have the medication-assisted treatment program now where we can start someone on MAT right in the jail, if we can coordinate it with the discharge process. So we definitely, I guess, anytime an inmate leaves the jail, they're at their highest risk, and we try to make sure that the person understands that. Just because they have been here, they've been abstinent, they've been not using.
Right.
So we also, the biggest thing is anytime somebody leaves here, we try to minimize the risk. With any service that they're willing to do and we can link them to, we definitely want to do that.
How are these services perceived by the corrections staff, the rest of the correctional staff in the jail? What's your experience with that?
The staff at the jail are very receptive to us. They are helpful, they are understanding. A lot of them come in and, ask questions, and, we're able to provide some education for them as far as, mental health, addiction, care coordination. Some of them have their own questions. So we're just a good resource to the staff, and they appreciate us, when they struggle dealing with an inmate, and they're difficult. I'm the person, that can come in and be that liaison for them so that we don't have to, have a situation, they can let me do my interventions, and it works very well.
Oh, that is really excellent. And I know we've said it before, but there is a tremendous amount of substance use disorder and mental health diagnoses, present in the jail population. And to have those services, as you said, not just for treatment, certainly that's crucial, but even just kind of present for the moments, when things are hard. Perhaps it can't be easy to be incarcerated. So.
Well, and it's a stressful environment, so when you have a therapist here, that can kind of calm everything down and have everybody take a breath and see just take a minute, you react differently.
Well, for both of you, Tamie and Lynn, and I know there are others colleagues of yours that work with you in the jail, just a real appreciation for what you folks do. It may not be glamorous, and I know it's difficult, but you are really on a front line and providing services to people, humans in need, and doing so, at a time which literally might provide an opportunity to save their life, certainly to set it on a different course. And for your willingness to do that and to do it so well, just want to extend thank you. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Well, again, a very big thank you to Tamie and to Lynn and their colleagues for the crucial work that they do. Difficult work, but so important. Providing treatment, support, skills to inmates during their time of incarceration. Helping to prepare them for life after incarceration. And in so doing, everybody wins. So we thank them for their very professional and compassionate service that they provide here in Chautauqua County. I want to thank you for viewing this latest installment of Let's Heal Together, Conversations to Combat Addiction. Stay well, everyone.